Hello, hey everybody. Let me make myself a little bit bigger there. Welcome to my channel. Opinions and theories are welcome over here. The opinions of this channel are not necessarily the opinions of others. Okay, I want y'all to know that. What are you doing, H. Davis? Hey, Kathy. How are you, ma'am? How are you? Okay, yes, you probably will see. Um, oh, thank you, H. Davis. Well, I got to get back in the swing of things because, you know, I took a few days off when I got sick and it kind of affected my mojo over here. Um, oh, nice. A class reunion. How cool is that? How cool is that? I'm great, Kathy. Glad you're doing well. What is up, Mama Cat? How the heck are you? For sure. And we're just going to be talking about different stuff over here today, like we usually do. Please feel free to talk about whatever you want in chat. Just please make sure you dress up your cursey words. 20 years. Wow, 20 years. You play pickleball? I don't think I can play pickleball. For real. I don't think I can. Now, let's pop over to Bryan Kohberger really quick. He was sentenced to 4 lifetimes in prison without parole for the unaliving of the 4 University of Idaho students. Now, I do have the I can play the family members talking to him, but we're not going to do that right now. You guys, I am so disturbed. Hey, Carla, I am so disturbed that these evil monsters are being allowed to take a plea deal on these cases. I don't understand it. I really don't. That is like, and I talk about it often, I can't help it, Stephen Stearns. I don't understand it. He's a monster. Why are they not making an example out of some of these guys? So, basically what they're telling them is, yeah, you go ahead. Hey, Poppy, darling, you go ahead and commit heinous acts and don't worry about it. We'll give you a plea. We'll see if you want to take a plea deal a week before your trial is supposed to begin. It just really disgusts me. For real. But like I said, you guys never know what I'm going to talk about over here. I'm just having conversations with my friends, is what I'm doing. They are being protected. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand it. It does make you sick. Hang on a minute. I want to turn my fan towards me a little bit. It's kind of hot in my room. I got my air conditioner on, but well, now I know why it's a little bit warmer. I should turn my air conditioner up. I am such a goober. I'm a goober, and I admit it. I am. I'm going to tell you guys something. There's been a lot of bickering and fighting going on YouTube. And it is so silly. It's like, what are you guys really fighting over? I mean, it's freaking like, What y'all fighting over for real? I don't understand it. I really don't. Okay. So Bryan Kohberger was sentenced to 4 sentences for lifetime prison without parole. Sad. He confessed. He did confess to the unaliving of the 4 young friends, and he did that earlier this month. The victims here are Madison Mogen, 21, Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. These children had everything. May, where have you been? Yes, we talked about it. We talked about it. Wow. We got some breaking news also. I'll have to pull it up. I'll have to pull it up. Do you guys remember? Okay. And I hope somebody remembers, because I know I talk about a lot of cases over here, and I do try to go back and do updates. And this case happened in Indiana. Do you guys remember when a father put his baby face down in a bucket of laundry detergent, sealed the lid, and left the little 3-month-old named Jacob in that bucket of laundry detergent? Update on that. He was sentenced to 92 years in prison. 92 years in prison. He did plead guilty to the charges in May of 2025. The judge imposed a sentence of 62 years for the unaliving of Jacob and added on 30 years because after he unalived his son, he tried to unalive his wife. He must serve 75% of the sentence for being eligible for release, meaning he will be 97 years old at the time. Isn't that crazy? So that's an update on the young boy. I couldn't, going back to Kohberger, I just can't, let me see this. Hold on. Let's see what this is. Okay. Yeah, he did take a guilty plea just so he could avoid execution. Wow. I know the families of the 4 young college students are not happy. And he did take that plea at the last minute because he knew his trial was getting ready to start. Well, we kind of know what's going to happen to him, right? I mean, we are human beings, so very sick people in the world. Very sick people in the world. Very, very. Then, quickly, I'm going to talk about the 9-year-old because I hadn't been able to talk about this case. The 9-year-old, her name was Melina Fratolin. Now, the reason that I'm went ahead and want to talk about it because her COD came out. Her cause of death came out, right? You haven't dated in 12 years. Thank you, Poppy. Hey, a lot of people date online now. They do. They date people online. And that's kind of scary. Because, I mean, where do you go to meet people anymore? For sure. La 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 la. Okay, let me so what happened, her dad took her on a vacation. They say she passed away from asphyxia due to drowning. Asphyxia due to drowning, and they did rule it a homicide. They found her unalive on July 20th in Ticonderoga, New York, after her father falsely reported her missing during a vacation from Montreal, Canada. So he brought her to New York from Montreal. They believe that the stories that the father was telling, it just didn't add up. Not at all. Don't meet people to get in Summers. There's a lot of cases, May, where people date, try to find true love on the internet. And there are some cases, a few, where people have gotten together and lived happily ever after. But then we got some serial artists and, basically unalivers, serial unalivers. Okay. She died of asphyxia due to drowning, ruled a homicide. Now, on July 20th, they issued an Amber Alert for her, for Melina. I wonder exactly where they found her at, though. Her father, 45-year-old Luciano Fratolin, said he believed that she was kidnapped. Let me get a picture up here of this beautiful young girl. So we'll find out. Let's find out a little bit about this. Bada bing, bada boom. She is so pretty. Such a pretty little girl. How can anyone, this is sick. I'll say trigger warning. How can anyone look at a child and want to hurt them or do horrible things to them? I will never understand it. Will never understand it. His own daughter. But then again, we've got, what's his name? Travis something. I don't remember his last name. Duncan, is it? That unalived these 3 daughters at a campground. I don't even know if they found him yet. Anybody know if he's been found yet? Okay, so on, Sunday, July 20th, after the Amber Alert was issued for Melina, they found her unalive, like I said, in Ticonderoga, New York. She was reported missing on the night of the 19th, which was Saturday. The father and daughter had been visiting Lake George in upstate New York on vacation from Montreal, Canada. They identified inconsistencies in the father's account, timeline was messed up, and they arrested him on the 21st. Here he is. So they charged him with redrum and concealment of her remains. Isn't that crazy? There he is. What would make him do that? So him and Melina's mom had been separated for several years. The girl's mother maintained custody. Wow. So they are asking for the public's help to see if additional video evidence or eyewitness accounts of the silver car the father and daughter traveled in from July 11th until the 19th on I-87. Anyone with any information, relevant information, is urged to call 518-873-2750 or email crimestoppers.ny.gov. Debbie. Okay, Debbie, I got a birthday song for you. Are you ready? This is for you, Debbie. Here you go.
What happened? Oh no, Eddie. Are you kidding me? It's your birthday again? Oh, snap. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so there it is. Now I gotta do my thing. You do your thing. All right, I'll talk to you later on. Get up on out of here. Have some cake or something like that.
Oh, I couldn't help it. I could not help it, man. I just couldn't. That's so funny. Happy birthday, Debbie. I will sing to you again before I get off here. I want to pull up what you sent me. Let me find it. Okay, I want to Google what you sent me. So, 2 cops in critical condition. This is crazy. I'm doing this one for you, Deb. This story is for Debbie. 2 police officers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin are in critical condition after a suspect drew a weapon and proceeded to use it on the officers. The incident occurred Thursday night near 25th and Garfield when officers were ambushed in an alley. One officer is 32 years old, the other's 29 years old, both with over 6 years experience. Oh no, this isn't it. Well, wait a minute, this isn't it. The suspect, 22-year-old Tremaine Jones, was arrested early Friday morning. Wait a minute. I got it. I got it. Okay, this is what Debbie's talking about. Well, this is what I'm talking about that Debbie hit me up. Not Ick and Mail, Debbie. Debbie Ho. Okay, Ick and Mail's covering it. which is fine. That's fine. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. 3 Ohio police officers were ambushed, 2 hospitalized with critical injury. The suspect was unalived. Sure was. 3 officers were wounded, and a person was unalived in a pew-pewing in an industrial area of Lorain. That is Lorain, Ohio. No, well, I thought it was 3, but they're saying wounded. That makes no sense. Okay, so three of them were ambushed, but they were wounded. So the suspect was unalived. You to pass it on to your peeps, but that's where I saw it. Oh, no, you're fine, Debbie. I'm just fucking with you. You know, Debbie, I gotta mess with you. It's okay. All right. Icamel covers a lot of stuff like this. And Icamel, you know, he has people that are in some of these states and stuff that actually go out and get him footage. It's actually really cool. It is really cool. So yes, you can even drop Ickenmeld's link if you like. Okay, so Lorain Mayor Jack Bradley said 2 officers were taken to the hospital in critical condition, with the 3rd suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Like I said, the suspected shooter was taken out. Only one suspect, a 28-year-old man, was involved. Wow, this is crazy. You guys, let me tell you, I have been to Ohio, and crazy things happen in Ohio. I'm not into him that much. He don't cover you, does he, May May? He don't know nothing if he hasn't covered May May, damn it. For real. Okay, so let me see. The dude had a high-powered RIFLE. This is ridiculous that I have to spell out these words. For real. Look, I'm going to say this. If I could come on here and do a live every day and not have to monetize it, that would be my dream channel. It really would. Because it drives me freaking crazy. It does. You can't show that. You can't say that. Okay, so he had a high-powered weapon at a dead-end road. I would not think that that would be an ideal location, right? Okay, well, I don't know if one's on the run or not, because they have said, let me see what time, Debbie, this was put out. It was put out at 4:31 p.m. It was put out at 4:31. And at 4:31, they were saying there was only one suspect, a 28-year-old man. So this dude is at a dead-end road, pulls out a high-powered weapon, and I wonder if he knew that he wasn't going to make it out of it. So it occurred around 1 p.m. Law enforcement still in the area investigating. Hey, Mr. A, I seen you were live today, but I wasn't on my computer. I was on my TV. But I was going to come in and say, hey. Okay. Our thoughts are with the officers, their families, and the entire law enforcement community during this incredible, difficult time. Yes, we are praying. We are praying. So they're still investigating. OBI, Ohio Bureau of Investigation, is assisting. Lordy. Lordy, Lordy. It is sad stuff like that goes on all day, every freaking day. All day, every day. So as far as the 9-year-old Melina Fritolin, we'll be finding out a lot more about that. Brian Koberger, I just can't believe that. I'm so that I mean, between Steven Stearns and Brian Koberger, it's disgusting. When she saw you were on, she quickly shut her computer off. That's funny. I did not, May. I didn't. I'm telling you right now. I didn't. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. This is pretty weird. This is from 1928. 1928. We had 6 individuals then also. What's up, Sherry? Thank you, Sherry. Trouble with a girl online, Robin, trying to get her there so we can talk about it. Aww. Where are you trying to get her? Oh, over on your channel? I don't know. I seen your bird. Mr. A has a beautiful bird. It is beautiful. Why are you a pariah, Sherry? Sherry, you been having problems lately? Have you, lady? I'm just asking. Maybe I shouldn't ask. You named her after her? Oh, well, now you're going to have to think about her all the time. Robin, you don't know me, but go on over and have a conversation. Conversations don't hurt anybody. They're just words. For real. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know how to troll. You do? I'm not a good troller at all. I am not a good troller. I have never. The only time that I've changed my name is when I go up on Matthew's panel and I put Snookums. That's the only time. She has her own channel she goes to. Just YouTube shit? Well, there's a lot of YouTube shit going on right now, Sherry. It shall pass. I mean, seriously. All that shit going on with everybody, it will pass. It will. I've seen this stuff happen so many times. So many times. Oh, yeah, private messenger, Mr. A. Don't get stalky, though, okay? That's just a recommendation. Don't be getting stalky-ish, okay? Okay. Now, this is from 1928. This guy, you know me, I find the weirdest stories. Okay, so this guy used a birthday party ruse, right, to abduct a girl. 6 years later, a letter revealed what he'd done and consumed. So this old guy here is Albert Fish. He's a 65-year-old grandfather. He lured a little girl named Grace Budd from her New York home. Like I said, this happened in 1928, and revealed the gruesome details in a handwritten note 6 years later. I wonder how old he was when he committed the crime. So, he abducted Grace after pretending to be a wealthy farmer, charming her parents and inviting the young girl to accompany him to a children's birthday party. He later, oh my gosh, trigger warning. Trigger warning. Yeah, 1928. He later confessed to unaliving her by putting his hands around her throat. Then he basically took pieces of her and let's just say cannibalism was involved. First, she kicked my ass all the time. Then she stalked me trying to know who I am. When she did, we fell in love. It's like the Loki series. Oh, good for you. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Maybe she is scared to cross off her. This is 1928. Can you believe this? 1928. He later confessed to the red rum of 2 other children, but is believed to have victimized many more. All right, we're going to give a content warning here. In 1934, police arrested 65-year-old Albert Fish after he sent a handwritten letter to the family of a missing 10-year-old girl, describing to the family what he did. He consumed her over a several-day period. The girl, Grace Budd, had vanished from her parents' Manhattan apartment more than 6 years earlier. Okay, so hold on. What? 28. Yeah, that'd put it about right. 6 years. Of course, the letter was entered into evidence at trial. He detailed how he unalived the child in an empty house and proceeded to that's sick. Okay, so when he showed up at Grace's house in May of 28, he used the name Frank Howard. He posed as a wealthy farmer from Farmingdale, Long Island, responding to their teenage son Edward's newspaper ad seeking work. Ew. On Sunday, June 3rd, 1928, I called on you at 406 West 15th Street. I brought you pot cheese strawberries. We had lunch. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me, Fish would later write in his letter. I made up my mind to, wow. So he's telling them, I came to your house. I brought you strawberries and pot cheese. We had lunch. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me. It was at that time he made up his mind he was going to have her for dinner. He won the family's trust. He returned several days later and asked to take Grace to what he claimed was a birthday party for his niece. Grace, dressed in her Sunday best, was excited for what she believed was a party and accompanied him. Grace never returned home. That is sick. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me. She was a child. She was a child. What did I say? She was 6? Oh, I don't know if no, that was 6 years later. I wonder how old Grace was. Wow. Oh my goodness. Now, this is what he's telling the family in a letter. In a freaking letter. I took her to an empty house in Westchester. I had already picked out. When we got there, I told her to remain outside. She picked wildflowers. I went upstairs and stripped all of my clothes off. I knew if I did not, I would get red stains on them. When I was ready, I went to the window and called her. I hid in a closet until she was in the room. When she saw me without clothes on, she began to cry and tried to run down the stairs. I grabbed her and she said she would tell her mama. Then he described unaliving her before cooking her and consuming her over a period of 9 days. Okay, so he gave the family a different name. So that's probably why they couldn't find him. But when his correspondence arrived in late 1934, police were able to identify him using the letter stationery. Oh, that's genius. So they used the stationery from the boarding house he was staying at. That's interesting, isn't it? Because they didn't have anything back then. He told police he had trigger warning, dismembered her with a handsaw at an abandoned house in Irvington. I gotta say, trigger warning. Oh my gosh, you guys. I did not read this article before I read it to you guys. So there are a lot of, okay, basically, there were strips of bacon, onions, and carrots. Let's put it like that. He stored her remains in a burlap sack and scattered them behind the property in the woods. They did find her. which is cool. They did find her. Now, once they got him into custody, he admitted to more crimes. In 1924, 8-year-old Francis McDonald was also found unalived almost the same way in the woods on Staten Island. Now, Francis was a little boy. He finally admitted to it after what happened with Grace. He also confessed, to the 1927 kidnap and red rum of 4-year-old Billy Gaffney, who had vanished while playing in a hallway in his Brooklyn building. Billy's young friend said the boogeyman got him. And boy, did the boogeyman get him. Now, this guy sent the little boy's mother a letter writing that he had tortured the boy and then also, cannibalism. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Beyond the 3 confirmed red rums, police said he had a long history of sexually abusing children, estimating he had assaulted more than a dozen minors over several years, generally targeting children who were unhoused, lived in poverty, or had disabilities. I don't know, Debbie, I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Although he was never formally charged. See, it doesn't matter if it's 1928 or 2025. These sick people and their mindset, that's exactly what they do. They go after children in, poverty-stricken areas with disabilities. Yeah. Okay, so he was never formally charged in that case. They were discussed in psychiatric evaluations submitted during his trial. At one point, he allegedly boasted that he had children in every state and claimed he victimized about 100 children. Though often described as a grandfather in the headlines, his own family had little contact with him by the time of his arrest. He had 6 children of his own from a long estranged marriage and several grandchildren. None of the grandchildren were believed to have any contact with him in the years leading up to the red one. His attorney argued he was insane. Religion, delusions, self-harming behavior, and x-rays presented in court showed that he had inserted and never removed 27 needles into his own pelvic region over the years. So he was self-harming with needles and he never removed them. That's freaking weird. We had a guy in Belgium. I am from the Netherlands. He held his children in the basement, no sunlight, nothing. Even the neighbors thought they didn't have children. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Do you guys remember what's his name? Bitch. I can't remember the guy's name, but he kept his daughter he kept his daughter like in the basement. It was like a cellar in the house. And she had a bunch of kids buying. She was there for years and years. And some of the kids, he would make her write a note. Fritzl, thank you, May May. He would, when his daughter would have a baby, he would like make her write a note and leave the baby on the front porch, and to make his wife think that their daughter had a baby and she was dropping the baby off for them to take care of. That's weird shit. That is weird. All right, Debbie, I'm looking. He also admitted to administering ritualistic punishments to himself, like self-flagellation, that he believed were prescribed by God. God didn't tell you to do none of that stuff, you weirdo. Here we go. At his trial, Children described a chaotic home life marked by erratic behavior, religious delusions, and violence. One of his sons testified his father had once forced him to beat him with a paddle studded with nails. He had his own son hitting on him. So, psychiatrist Dr. Frederick Wortham, who examined Fish, testified that he suffered from asexual psychopathy and religious mania, but acknowledged that he understood the difference between right and wrong, making him ineligible to be found not guilty by reason of insanity. They found him sane and guilty. Here you go, Debbie. On January 16, 1936, he was executed via the electric chair at Sing Sing. Officials said it took 2 jolts to unalive the guy, possibly due to the needles embedded in his body. That took care of that, didn't it? Dead on it. Wow. Wowsy wow. I told you guys, you never know. You never know what we're going to get over here. For sure. Life is like a box of chocolate. Let me see this. Okay, that's going to have to wait. That story's going to have to wait. Yeah, I don't think they did, Debbie. No plea deals back then. I mean, they took him and immediately put him in the electric chair. For sure. Okay. This is just a little interesting story I thought I would share with y'all. Okay. I need to get a new mouse. What is going on, mouse? Okay, hold on. Okay. So, you guys remember when they would put kids' pictures on the milk cartons, right? So I thought this was interesting because a conviction was overturned for a man accused of unaliving the original milk carton kid named Eaton Potts. A federal appeals court ordered a new trial for Pedro Hernandez, who was convicted in 2017 after red rumming the 6-year-old. Okay, but when? Because, okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Together, we will figure it out. Damn, that sounded horrible, didn't it? I cannot stand my voice. So anybody who says, I can't stand her voice, I don't like my voice either. I do not like going back and listening to myself. I don't. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's that girl, Remain Calm. Yeah. She's cool. Okay. Anyhow. Enough about Remain Calm. Okay. The shocking disappearance and presumed unaliving of 6-year-old Eaton Potts in 1979 became one of the biggest stories in the nation. It went cold for decades until Pedro Hernandez was charged with red rumming the boy after confessing in 2012. Hernandez is now 64. He appealed in 2017, arguing that the jury had received improper instructions, which a federal appeals court upheld. So they upheld it. So he's going to be getting a new trial. We'll have to pay attention to that. Wow. Yes, he's now 64. Wasn't charged till 2012. But he confessed. He confessed that he lured the boy into a basement while he walked to the bus stop in the Soho area of New York City. So yes, he was the first child to have his picture on a milk carton. The last DP sentence given out in court 2006, that's 20 years. No way. Wow. Let me pin that. Let me pin that. That's crazy. 20 years ago? Wow. Well, like I said, that's the thing about it. You keep letting them people take a plea deal. Because, some of them evil people will be like, I'm going to do whatever I want because they're not going to give me the DP on it anyway. I'll just wait. I'll plead not guilty until a week before my trial is to start, and then I'll get a plea deal. And I'll take the plea deal. That's what's happening. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Okay. So I guess we'll find out. In 2017, he was sentenced to 25 years to life after being convicted of second-degree red rum and first-degree kidnapping. After all these years, we finally know what dark secret you had locked in your heart, the boy's father said. You threw him in the garbage. You're a monster you are the monster in your nightmares. The God you pray to will never forgive you. But he maintained his innocence, saying he didn't do it. Hernandez at the time was 18 years old. And They said he was mentally ill at the time. So we will keep an eye on that, my friends. We shall, we shall. Isn't that nuts? That is crazy. Craziness. Okay. All right, whippersnappers. That is so sad about that 9-year-old girl, though. A ferry caught on fire with 280 passengers on board. 280 passengers. Okay, does anybody remember when the news anchor from Iowa, she went missing? She just went missing. They never found her. I guess they're doing a Hulu documentary on her. I don't have Hulu. I can't have Hulu. Costs too much. I don't want to pay for it. Yeah, she went missing in 1995. 1995. Craziness. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me see. Now, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been following the drama around on the YouTube streets. I mean, I kind of know what's going on, but I don't know. I guess I don't look at things the way other people do because I think it's all really silly. And, this is what I tell everybody. Always take heed. If someone has blatantly lied to you or lied on you before, you always got to remember that. You always have to remember that. If somebody's talking about, it's just, you always got to remember that what people are showing you are how they really are. That's how they really are. So you just got to remember stuff like that. You always have that in the back of your mind. It will always be in the back of your mind. Hold on one moment. Give me 1 minute, you guys. Give me a minute. All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you, Poppy. I appreciate you, Miss Poppy. Miss Poppy in a red Mustang. Poppy in a red Mustang. Went around the corner. What did I see? It was Poppy in her Mustang. She was waving at me. She said, "Come on, RC, let's go for a ride. We'll go get Debbie Ho and we'll get real high. We'll go around the corner and Mr. A is hanging out. As we drive by, we'll give him a shout out." I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that at all. For sure. I mean, I can't believe some of these. I wonder if that guy's going to get out. I hate this right here, though. This is horrifying. This just horrifies me about Stephen Stearns. Really, for real. And this live, I'm not really showing other people's content only because I had to monetize it. And usually, I love to commentate on other people's lives and stuff. But I usually do not monetize when I do that, only out of respect, because if they're monetized or something, I know a lot of them, a lot of people will absolutely don't mind if you share their stuff. It's not a big deal. And then some people don't like you to share their stuff at all. I'm getting ready to look. Give me just a minute, Debbie. Yes, it was life without the possibility of parole. I remember. I mean, I can show you guys the family speaking if you want me to. Life without parole. Hang on, I'll share it with you. If it lets me. I don't know if this article, because it's CNN. All right, this is CNN. He received life without parole. He's been sentenced life without parole. Well, why not? Well, wait, it's not saying. Wow. Okay. They're saying life without the possibility of parole. He declined to speak during the hearing. The victims' families remain in the dark about his motive. He never said why he did it. No, I don't mind pulling it back up, Debbie. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. It's your birthday. And I'm going to get off here pretty soon so you can go party. Documents detailing the Moscow Police Department's investigation into the 4 red rums committed in 2022 by Bryan Kohberger describe an interview conducted with a former friend who described him as intelligent but also selfish. Another interview conducted was a student. This student was a former teaching assistant for the criminology program with Kohberger, and they shared an office. He considered Kohberger a friend. So this document was accompanied by an FBI agent, as well as was conducted by an FBI agent, as well as an FBI interpreter. Because this statement came from someone who is not from the United States. So this individual described Kohberger as very intelligent but selfish, saying Kohberger would often mislead him when it came to their shared work and would have him complete work that was meant for Bryan Kohberger to do. Kohberger attempted to use his authority as a teaching assistant to inappropriately interact with female students. This individual added that he thought Kohberger wanted a girlfriend since they spoke about it on many occasions. Kohberger asked him to help fight allegations that threatened his teaching assistant position. So this individual said he noticed injuries on Kohberger's face and hands on 2 occasions in October and November 2022. One was a large scratch on his face, which this individual described as looking like scratches from fingernails. Another injury he thought he saw was Kohberger's wounded knuckles on 2 separate occasions. Kohberger told him he had been in a car accident. Okay. With a friend like that, who needs a friend? One of the jail inmates said that he barely slept and he washed his hands dozens of times a day. That's kind of crazy. I bet his bunkie wasn't too happy about that. Said he took long showers, barely slept, and washed his hands dozens of times a day. He stayed up all night and would only take a nap during the day. He would move around throughout the night, which would annoy his neighboring inmate. He also spoke with his mother for hours every day. Wow. Well, mom's probably paying a lot of money off that. That's crazy. But go over and check this article out. It's CNN US. And it goes through, you can have access to all what the family said and stuff. For sure. Now, I'm confused about this article. It was done on July 21st. And we'll talk about this for a second. Because this is not, this article doesn't sound right to me. Because this article says Madeline Soto plea deal. Mom's boyfriend confesses to RAPE and red running of girl 13 to avoid the DP. He didn't plead guilty. So did he confess to that? Now this is saying that he entered guilty pleas Um, this says he confessed both to the unaliving and the sexual assaulting. I thought he pled no contest. This is saying guilty pleas. I'll have to go check. I'll check it, you guys. I will check it because you know I don't like to give out the wrong information. I don't like to do that, y'all. Y'all know it. I'm just, you know, that little 9-year-old girl. I'm so glad that that they found that little girl. Beautiful little girl. So I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more too, because I just don't understand why he would do that. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he tried to say that she was abducted and the last place he seen her was in a white van, right? Yeah, I don't think washing his hands, I don't believe Brian Koberger washing his hands is going to wash away what he did. I mean, seriously. Freaking disgusting. Disgusting. I wanted to talk about this. This happened around July 4th. I'm just going to go over this real quick and then we'll just kind of bullshit for a few minutes. Hey, little Deb. And I had this, I kept wanting to talk about this. So, a little 5-year-old girl was accidentally unalived in a road rage incident when someone discharged a firearm and the bullet was stuck in her sippy cup. This loser, Charles Stevenson Jr., is the one who did it. Man, some people are, their road rage is over the top. It pierced her leg and became lodged in her sippy cup. This dude's 20 years old. Can you believe it? He fired upon little girl Emma, her father. So she's undergone several surgeries and had to start physical therapy. That is so sad. Such a shit world we live in, for sure. Okay, y'all, the floor is open. The floor is open. What would y'all like to talk about? The birds and the bees? I know, Poppy. I get so mad. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting what these people do. For no reason. No reason whatsoever. It's one thing to give a cussing, road rage, you're like, fucker, or whatever. But who the hell takes out a freaking firearm? You cut me off, so there's a lot of angry people in the world. Huh. There's a lot of angry fucking people in the world right now. For real. For real, for real. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Okay, let me see. Hey, did you guys see where they're messing with late night talk show host? Yeah, Stephen Colbert. Okay. Here are some things that happened today, July 23rd, 2025. A driver crashed into a fake Roadrunner tunnel. A street artist painted a cartoon-style tunnel on a wall, and somebody actually tried to drive through it. Oh, that's funny. An Iowa man won $100,000 from a lottery ticket he received as a birthday gift. Debbie, tell your son to go buy you a lottery ticket. A coyote had to be rescued after getting wedged in the front bumper of a car. Oh, I've seen stuff like that before. I seen where a snake had wrapped itself around a car engine. Scary. Canadian woman broke 2 speed records on a penny farthing bike. What's a penny farthing bike? Florida deputies today had to wrangle an escaped emu. The Washington Spirit, a professional women's soccer team, hosted a community donation event and gave $100,000 to local community partners. Way to go. Okay, I don't know if you guys seen it. It's big news. So there was a CEO who was kind of having what they say is an affair with a woman that worked in the human resource department of this company. So he decides that they're going to go to a Coldplay concert, get all touchy-feely. Well, guess what happened? They were put on the Megatron. I think it's called the Megatron. I don't know. But they were right there. Right there. He was standing behind her. He had his arms wrapped around her. Needless to say, he resigned from his company. I believe that she did too. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But if y'all don't think that people wasn't contacting his wife and saying, girl, she changed her last name on Facebook. That is a reason to change your last name on Facebook. Okay. Okay. I don't know what else. I don't know. Oh, okay. I'll show you guys what a penny farthing bike looks like. Crazy. Debbie, illegal pet pig runs the street in California. Have you seen a pet pig running the streets, Debbie? Inquiring minds want to know. Don't let your dog out. I don't know what else there is today. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, my friend. Okay, let me try this one. Da-na-na-na. Oh, we don't want that. Hold on. Da-na-na-na. Okay, let's look at world news. French leader Macron, wife sue podcaster over claims first lady was born a man. Oh my God, they did that to Obama. They did, Michelle Obama. Now they're doing it to somebody else. It's like, what the heck? Why do people care? I don't understand it. Wow, they're saying South Korea's seen a record growth in the birth rate this year. That's interesting. I don't want to get into that. You just read it. That is funny. Okay, so I am at 1 hour and 22. Anything? Anybody think of anything off the top of your head? For real, for real? I am glad everybody that came to hang out. It is Debbie Ho's birthday today. Played her little birthday song. Here, I'll play you another one. We'll play one more for you, Debbie. Because it is funny. Got a couple. I love that one. It was so funny. Let me find a good one. Here you go. I'm just going to play you a song. I was listening to this song today. And don't worry. Don't worry, lady. I can take it off. Debbie is a very good friend. I appreciate you, Debbie. I really do. You are my friend, lady. For real. For real. Let's do James Taylor and Carole King together singing You Got a Friend. I love that song. You got a friend. All right. Happy birthday, friend. If it ever fucking starts. Here you go. Happy birthday, Debbie. Hold on. I got to get it up there. Hang on. Low budget, baby. For real. One of my favorite songs. James Taylor and Carole King
A lot of other people seem to like it too. They pulled it for a single.
Okay, I
For
will,
whatever
Debbie.
that's worth.
I love you, Debbie. Love you, girl. I do. You have a great birthday. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I always appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Well, Debbie, you are a very easy person to be a friend with. It's not hard. I will say this because a lot of people don't know this. I'm not going to get into the why, but you know, me and Debbie's been friends for a while, and we kind of, I don't even know what happened, but the communication started breaking down. And so we just kind of stepped back. And, you know, when we finally kind of came back together, I knew then that Debbie was someone that I wanted in my life, that I knew without a shadow of a doubt was my friend. And I'm so glad that you know, I'm glad to have her in my life. She's a cool cat. She is a cool cat. So yes, we did fix it, and I'm glad we did. So that's what happens with real friendships. And we just took it as a it was something that we just couldn't communicate over. And I'm so glad that, you know, things worked out the way that they did. So thank you, Poppy. It means a lot to me. You come over here and hang out. You're my main moderator. And I do appreciate you so much, girl. And I do need to get on Facebook. I apologize, you guys. I know that we have that Facebook group, and you know, I'm not a real big Facebooker or real knowledgeable about Facebook, but I am going to make myself start getting over there, and you know, it's easier with a lot of people if you communicate through Messenger and stuff. So I will do that. I don't know. Flies might be sleeping, but she definitely still needs a lot of prayers. She's still healing. Rachel still needs prayers. The mouse needs prayers. There's so many people that can use prayers right now. So definitely, if someone needs prayers, even if you don't like somebody, you can still give them prayers. Um, except for stalkers, don't give them prayers, okay? Because Jesus is like, hey, stalker people, you need to leave people alone. That's what I think that's what I think Jesus is saying. Y'all stop it. That's what Jesus is saying. So funny. You are not mashed potatoes, Poppy. You are not. At all. For real. Never ever are you mashed potatoes. Girl, you are steak. Don't forget it. You are steak. I know you're busy, Poppy. That's why I don't bother you. Because I know that you work. I know that you're busy. I know that for sure. So, but you know, if you need me, all you gotta do is holler. Like the song says, call out my name. I'll be there as fast as I can. Be kicking ass and taking names later. You know what I mean? For real. All right, go have fun tonight. Do you? Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. So, peace out, everybody. You've been staying busy, have you, little Dev? Yeah, it's been so hot here, you guys. It has been so freaking hot. It's just miserably hot. The kittens are doing good though. That's for sure. They're doing really good. All right, I will catch you guys later. Happy birthday, Debbie. Have a good night. Go party, have fun. You do you, lady. Poppy, I will catch you later, darling. And I do appreciate everything you do, Poppy. For real. I want you to know that. You are not mashed potatoes, lady. You are a steak. All right. Peace out, you guys. Have fun. Do you. Later.